Alright guys, so since the disappointment of Germany, we haven't really done much to the car to improve it. There just hasn't been the time, it's been less than a week. We've got a front wing in development. That was in development I think from either the day of the German Grand Prix or just the day after. But other than that, we are literally just waiting for that to be made. And then in terms of the HQ, we're waiting for the upgrade on the handling development centre. Then we'll possibly start looking at some new buildings and upgrading some of our current buildings. 46 million is still in the pot at the moment, but yeah, not much has changed unfortunately in between these races. There just hasn't been the time in between. Been very much trying to get into a positive mindset, with the idea being we're going to bounce back. We quite frankly have to. I'll see you guys in Italy. So welcome to Italy in a track that looks suspiciously like Monza. It looks like a quick track, a fast track that should hopefully benefit us. We need a good weekend. After last weekend, we need a much better weekend. The last two Grand Prix just haven't gone to plan on this current European leg, and unfortunately it means we're dropping points and we're dropping places. That opportunity to come fifth is there. We want it. We need to get there, and we need to start putting in some better performances this weekend. I'll see you guys for qualifying. A 6th and a 16th place in practice. 6th for George, 16th for Latifi. Fingers crossed we can go out there now and put in a decent qualifying. We'll just quickly change their setups. I'm guessing he wants a bit more in terms of handling. He's happy with that, is he? It's great. Well, we'll go a little bit quicker for George. Hopefully he likes it. Maybe take a little bit off the downforce. And then we'll put a bit less on that, and then we'll get, I'll go with that for Latifi. So here we go. Qualifying. I think it's George's turn to go out first. If there's rain this weekend, you know for a fact I will be pitting. I will not be keeping them out again. It's really hard to pick yourself up after making what was a catastrophic mistake, and it was completely my fault. Really hard to get the urge to come back on here and go again, because it was difficult. It was so difficult. Like, you have to sit there, look at yourself and go, I made that mistake, and I certainly did. There we go. So George is perfect. And here goes Latifi, and George goes flying past. So we look to get there. We go. It's in the green. Keep that needle in there. Perfect on his tyres. George does a 1:11. We'll find out in a second just how far off the pace he is. He's 6/10 off. Latifi now is 3/10 off already after the first sector. 4/10 off after sector 2. Comes through there, and he's 8/10 off in the end. He's not too far off in terms of pace. That's actually an 11th place for Latifi. That is a handy lap that he's put in there. Very handy. So we'll wait for the track grip now just to get that a little bit better. The more grip out there, the faster we'll be able to go. So now I know it's about a 1 minute 10 lap. Of about 2 minutes something. We'll send out George. Right, we will send out George now. He's okay. You know, he can have that as his setup for the weekend now. Then. So here goes George. Nicholas, you will be going out again, don't worry. We just got to get George out first. And just keep praying there's no rain, because it always messes with you. But then again, if there is rain, George and Nicholas would both be through right now. Just trying to get it through here now. So he's on perfect. Now it's Latifi's turn. He will go out, and George should just be going past now. There he goes. Come on, George. You can improve, mate. I believe in you. So as we got George is green in sector 1, that I can confirm. I've sent Latifi out on all tyres. Oh. There goes purple. I've sent Latifi on old tyres. Russell's put in a faster lap. He's gone 5 tenths off Lewis. Latifi didn't get it across the line in time anyway. He is through. So we left it a bit too tight to get Latifi over the line in the end. Just waiting for 5 cars to finish, so we will speed that up. But we can say that's a positive. 2 cars into Q2. One of them was in the top 10. We might be able to get a car into Q3 here. So in Q1 we lose Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Antonio Giovinazzi, and then of course the 2 Haas drivers Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. Whereas we're improving, they seem to be staying the same. Pretty poor. Let's get into Q2. So we will send George out. Big lap here from George would be incredible. Come on, George. So he's perfect, and we will now send out Latifi, and this time we'll make sure he definitely goes out on some softs. We should just see George go past the roundabout now. There he is. Can Latifi put in a lap to be proud of here? He's got to the end of the season to save his Williams career, because if he doesn't improve, he will be moved on next season, as we try and push to play alongside the big boys in Mercedes and Red Bull. That's perfect. So George has just put in a lap, a 1:11.1. He's popped in. He's 6/10 off Lewis. Latifi is 2/10 down after sector 1. He'll come round here. He's 5/10 down after sector 2. Through there. And he's 7/10 down overall. He slots in just behind George Russell. Bring him round. And after everyone's first laps, Russell and Latifi sit 9th and 10th. Surely there is no way we could do this. Surely. We'll go a little bit longer. Go now. Here goes George. Make sure we put fresh tyres on. You will do another flying lap, Latifi, don't you worry. Because, yeah, Vettel has just hit a faster lap. Vettel has knocked Latifi into 11th and Russell down to 10th. So if we get tyres up to speed, the track grip is just immense at the moment. Should definitely be able to do faster laps in these conditions. There, so he's got perfect tyres. We will now send out Latifi for his lap time. There goes Russell as he tries to improve to secure a place in Q3. Latifi is going out on his warm-up lap, in which he will also be trying to improve to secure a place in Q3. George gone purple in sector 1. Not purple, sorry, green. And he's gone green in sector 2. He's only 3/10 down. There we go. George has gone 4/10 slower and popped himself into 6th place. Latifi now is on 2/10 down after sector 1. 4/10 down after sector 2. Can he do it? Can he go quick enough? No! Latifi will be out in Q2. He qualifies in 11th, which is still a very, very good qualifying for him. George will be in Q3. He will be battling it out with the other drivers for pole position. But Latifi misses out by just over 1/10 of a second. And there we have it. Latifi qualifies in 11th place, Pierre Gasly 12th, Lance Stroll 13th, Esteban Ocon in 14th, and Kimi Raikkonen 15th. So unfortunate for Latifi. He couldn't quite pull out the lap that was required. But now all eyes focus on Russell as we try and get him as high a qualifying position as we possibly can. It's Q3 time in Italy. Track grip is high. We only want to do one lap, so what we want to do is we want to wait until it's at its highest, the track grip, to make sure there's no rain coming. There is not. We've not set a lap time. No, we're waiting there. Now we'll set a lap time because track grip is at its highest. So George, do you believe in yourself? Because I do. And I believe you can give us the lap time we're wanting right now. Let's do this. So the track grip is as high as it can be. The track is in the best condition it can be. We've just got to make sure we give him as good tyres as we possibly can. There, he's got perfect tyres. And here he goes. What can George Russell do? It's 2 tenths down after sector 1. It's 4 tenths down after sector 2. I'm thinking P6 possibly. 6 tenths down, P7. He just misses out on pipping Leclerc. There is more time. George will not be going out again. That is his one and only lap time. But he should be guaranteed at least 9th if Vettel's going out on mediums. I guess we'll just have to wait and see exactly where Russell qualifies. We're not going out again. Sorry, George. We're not going out again. So out go the cars. Ricciardo is not going out on those tyres, is he? He is indeed. So now, Norris. What's Norris doing? He isn't gone quick enough. And Russell qualifies in 7th place. A 7th, and it's pole. It's pole for Verstappen. Lewis finally beaten on qualifying. Wow. So George lines up 7th. Latifi will line up 11th. That is our best qualifying. And now it's race day. What sort of plans do we have? Hards are going to be key, so we will get the extra performance on the hards for both drivers. So the car setup, we're going to change Latifi's setup. He is going to start the Grand Prix on medium tyres. So, it's Max Verstappen on pole from Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas backs up his teammate in 3rd place. Carlos Sainz is 4th. And on the 3rd row is Checo in 5th. Charles Leclerc alongside him in 6th. George Russell with another fantastic qualifying session will start in 7th place. Lando Norris managed to pip his teammate to 8th. Daniel Ricciardo therefore starts 9th. Sebastian Vettel will start in 10th place. And Nicholas Latifi will start in 11th. Pierre Gasly alongside him in 12th, Lance Stroll in 13th and Esteban Ocon in 14th. Kimi Raikkonen and Yuki Tsunoda make up the 8th row. And then you've got Fernando Alonso in 17th place with Antonio Giovinazzi in 18th place. Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher in 19th and 20th and propping up the field as per usual. Let's get ready for lights out. And they're out, and it's go, go, go. Russell has an appalling start. Norris has launched off the line. He's lost 2 places. He's lost 3. George Russell has just not got away at all. Latifi's behind him. Will Latifi get him as well? Latifi gets Russell. And then up the inside of both of them is Ocon. Russell is just going backwards at the moment. And he's now come up alongside Latifi. Will he get down the inside here? Oh, this will go through the middle. Jeez, Pierre Gasly squeezes through the middle. Russell also gets past Latifi. And now Stroll goes round the inside of both of them. The Williams are just heading backwards. This is a shocking start for George. Not what he would have wanted at all. And now he will have his ERS, and he's going to use his ERS to try and get some moves done here. Gain some places back, and he has indeed. He's up into 10th. He's going to be up into 9th. And now Latifi, use some of yours. Try and get some of these places back. What a shocking start. Latifi isn't gaining any of his places back at the moment. He's in 14th place. And we'll take him off it now. George is pooping around. But honestly, not the start he was hoping for by any stretch. He started 7th, he dropped all the way down to I think it was 13th or 14th at one point, and now he sits in 9th place at the start of this Grand Prix. We can now speed it up a little bit, but we've just got to be wary, because soon George will have to come in and get these tyres off. So George can use that. Latifi's going to use the remainder of his ERS to try and get past Gasly if he can. And he has indeed got past Gasly and Mazepin. He's actually managed to get himself up into 10th place. So we are currently running P9 and P10. Both cars in the points. The pit stop has happened already for Sebastian Vettel. And Russell is in 9th. He's right up behind Ricciardo, where he wants to try and get past him ASAP, really. Can he use ERS? He can use ERS to get past Ricciardo. He's up into 7th. And Latifi's using ERS to try and close up on these two. Ricciardo will be pitting this lap, I would have thought. Whereas George will go one more lap. So George goes one more lap. George will now pit himself for a set of hard tyres. All his parts are fine. 50% charge. Pit. And now we see what he can do. Do we let Latifi by? There you go, he's let Latifi by. We had to do it because his tyres were screwed. And now the main focus for this Grand Prix turns to Latifi. And we'll turn it up to be a little bit faster. George Russell's come out, he's come out ahead of Ricciardo. He's going to use that ERS now to try and close up on Vettel maybe. And he's closed up on Vettel as well, so that's a brilliant use of the ERS to get that bit closer. Latifi running in 5th currently. He's got to try and make these tyres last a bit here. Bottas and Perez still haven't pitted, which is incredible when you think about it. He will now use that ERS down this straight where it's most effective. But there he is pitting this lap. Is Perez and Bottas. And Russell's right behind. Russell's got past Perez. Latifi right now is leading the Grand Prix. It might not be for long. In fact, it's almost definitely not going to be for long. But he's leading it, and that's the important thing. When do we put him? Is it this lap? I think we go now. If we go now. So in comes Latifi. Here's Russell. Who's going to be ahead of who? It is Russell ahead of Latifi. But Latifi has ERS to use, which he will now use, and he might get past Russell with it. He hasn't. But they are racing side by side in 16th and 17th place at the moment. Who is quicker? I guess we'll find out. I think, George, we have to make a call here. Allow your teammate through. Which he just didn't there. Allow him through, George, because you're on a different strategy. We've got to remember that you are on a different strategy. So we've allowed him through. Ricciardo is right up on George here. He has to be, doesn't he, really? Because his tyres are going to go off at some point. And right now, we're racing in a situation I'm not necessarily comfortable with. Oh, George has passed Latifi! George has passed Latifi! And right now we're running in 12 and 13. Other people will have to pit. I presume Russell will probably going to have to pit him again. I can't see him making these tyres last to the end now, but he'll go on to softs at the end, that means. And Ricciardo has got past Latifi, but he will have to pit again. And Latifi will use his ERS to try and get close up if he can. Ricciardo's pitting this lap. So he's defending the place from Daniel Ricciardo. And there goes Daniel Ricciardo into the pits. So 6th and 7th currently. With Latifi going to the end. Russell not going to the end. And Lewis is going to make easy work getting back past Russell here, yeah. He does. Latifi on slower tyres might end up getting picked off by the likes of Gasly and Ocon behind. And as we keep going, Gasly's just set the fastest lap of the race. He's right behind Latifi, who's trying to defend. Right after this lap, and then it's going to be a sprint from George. An absolute sprint. We'll try the overcharge risk, but that's what we're going to do. And now Latifi has been taken by Gasly. We just got to hope he doesn't get taken by Ocon. The issue we're going to have is George is going in the pits now. He is in the pits. It's been a fine stop. Let's get him out. And let's get attacking with George. We're on the faster tyre. Whether there's going to be some late pit stops in this, I don't know. But George is going to use these tyres and this extra fuel to hopefully push himself forward here. He's going to do a fastest lap of the race for him. And he's got right up behind Ricciardo now. Latifi's in 5th place. Russell's in 17th place. He cannot find a way past. And we're just going to watch the end of this race. Where is Latifi? How far ahead is he? He's in 5th place. And he's just tootling around quite comfortably in 5th place. He's on to that final lap of the race. George Russell is up into 16th. He's now up into 15th. And George Russell is battling for 14th, which he's now got. And it will be a 14th place for George, but it is a 5th place finish for Latifi. The one stop was so powerful here, and it worked a treat. Latifi did the one stop. It got him a 5th place finish. George, in the end, getting to Q3 screwed him over. And we could have probably tried to nurture the tyres. He would have got points. We probably should have done that. But in the end, it was actually a bit of a recovery drive at the same time where he went from 20th up to 14th. Fantastic to do that. Another lap or two, and he may have managed to get himself back in the points. But Nicholas Latifi, with the one stop, has finished in 5th place, which will get us a massive amount of points, and it's his highest place finish for us. Have we bounced back in Italy? You're damn sure we've bounced back in Italy. Fantastic. He stays in 18th, yes, but he goes up to 19 points now. In terms of where we are, we stay where we are, and instead of 5th place now, there is an opportunity for us to go for 4th, possibly, because McLaren have really dropped off the pace. We've got some things to ponder and think about here. Nicholas Latifi, I said he needs to save his Williams career. More performances like that, and I can't ignore that. That was an incredible drive. And in the end, from George, getting from 20th to 14th, that's still a decent drive from him. We came 4th overall. We get 1.4 million added to our kitty. George still sits in 7th overall. We're going to try and work on some new stuff, which obviously I'll let you know about at the start of the next video. The handling development centre will be upgraded by the next Grand Prix, and I think our front wing will be on the car, and it'll probably be put onto George's car. Otherwise, for the 3rd time this season, we're heading back to Russia for something that looks like it's going to be a wet Grand Prix. I'll tell you something, I'm very excited. If you've enjoyed watching Latifi pull it out the bag, drop us a like, give us a subscribe. I'll see you guys in Russia again. I'll catch you later.